Maybach music.
And that's all there is to it.
Oh yeah, 4 o'clock in the morning comes early. We're gonna go get ourselves some lobster mushrooms. Just trying to get in the right mood, set the tone. I can't tell you where we're headed. It's a good spot. They have giant baskets, ham sandwiches, water. Oh, we don't scrimp. We go all out. So we just stepped out in the woods this morning. We're on a trip down south a little bit, looking for lobster mushrooms. And Mr. Powers found Austin Powers, also known as Austin Lindstrom. But at any rate, he found this neat example of a lobster that's really not been where the cycle of parasitism hasn't really completed. And you can see this started out as a lactarius, and even though it's white right now, it's very firm, very and you see just a little bit of the start of the orange starting to show up here. And this is actually pretty unusual. Most times that action starts at a very early stage, even a pinning stage, so that you never really see the host mushroom. But as you see, I don't know what we'd call this, a ghost lobster, I think. But the smell is there, and the feel is really pretty unmistakable. Lactarius is a much, although it's a reasonably sturdy mushroom, it's not like this feels. And the gill structure, you can't feel through the camera, but if you felt it, you'd know what I'm talking about. So we're going to start looking a little more, and I'm sure we'll find a lot more. Maybe some orange ones. These are 2 more examples really quick that were in the same area. And again, I guess I am going to coin that phrase. These are ghost lobsters. And I mean, they're just beautiful. But they are clearly lobsters. And although I haven't seen a great deal of this before, it's very interesting to me. And really curious to see if there's any subtle differences, you know, when we get home and cook a few of these up. I doubt it, but this is a pretty cool thing. And this bugger here's got to weigh about a ½ pound, I would think. So we're gonna keep looking. So we're just walking up on a few here that Peo found, and these are your more standard orange, but beautiful. You can see the area that we're in is a mixed hardwood forest. The soil is fairly sandy, and you can see that the undergrowth is not, you know, it's not severe, but you'll normally find them in areas that you know, sort of stuck in the middle of some undergrowth. You're really looking for areas that Lactarius or Russula might inhabit. So get a little bit of a sense of what the forest should look like, what the floor should look like. And you see there's a lot of bare spots, but you know, they're usually snuggled up against something, a tree, a clump of grass, a fern, something along those lines. So we talked about Lactarius being one of the hosts for lobster mushrooms, and you know, here's an example. This is an area where we're picking lobsters right now, and this is one that's escaped. So that's what that looks like. Actually, this isn't the Lactarius. I believe this is what's called a quilted green russula. Russula being the other host. One of the things we can do quickly to check is to cut the gills, because as the name implies, Lactarius will sort of bleed a milk when you cut the gill. And I'm not doing a very good job of holding the camera, but you can see nothing is emanating from the gills. So, and I don't know how good the color is here, but you see that buff green, and there's almost a quilted pattern you see there in the upper right at about 2 o'clock. So I can say with some ability that this is a quilted green russula, which is an edible. Not inedible, is an edible.
Fuck, am I tired? Jesus.
Old man! Look at this. There's another one. Austin, what'd you find?
Oh, about 10 more paces back, I noticed a little color, and I was fearful that it'd be leaves, of course, or garbage. But it appears to be.
Look at that one. That's
quite
a beautiful
nice
looking lobster there too, isn't it? Looks like it's in perfect shape.
That's about as good as they get.
Mm-hmm.
A little funny looking, but that's perfect.
That's a keeper.
Yep.
All right. What'd you find there, Lexi?
Bunch of lobsters.
Yeah.
There's 3 over here.
Oh, look at
Dropping the
this.
scores.
There's 2 there, a little old. There's one nice one.
Yeah.
Back over here, there's a few more.
Over here?
And Austin's got more over on this side. And again, almost always on a little bit of a slope, aren't we?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
And under those
Yeah.
pines.
I've been finding everything on slope.
Mm-hmm. And if the ground is
away from the sun.
away from the sun, and if the ground is too barren, that's not good either. So you kind of want to find that happy medium between too much overgrowth and not enough. There's another big one there. Yeah.
There's one right in front of it.
Yeah.
But this is rotten.
It looks like there's probably a dozen here.
Tread lightly.
Tread lightly, exactly. Where is it? Where is it? Where is it? No! Lobster. There she sits. It's looking to be snatched up and eaten. We're still looking for lobster mushrooms, but I'm happening upon a few chanterelles. It's sort of interesting to me because there's really not, the typical things that we're looking for. Although there are some oak in here, it's predominantly maple and ironwood, with just a few oaks scattered in, but they don't seem to be relating very closely to the oak trees, but nonetheless, there are a few, so we'll pick those on the way too. There's some crown tip coral growing here too, and you're always going to find crown tip, not just deadwood, but really pretty old deadwood. So you see this log sitting in front of us, which is obviously on the ground, still is its bark. There's really nothing growing on it other than some moss. And this much older log here, which has already been broken down to some degree, is the one that we're going to find a little bit on, right there. And if we could look real close, you'd see that the tips of that actually have points like a crown would, which is where it derives its name. But and usually where there's some more. It's dry here in Minnesota right now, so we're lucky we're even seeing this. But there it is. Sweaty church change number 1.
Turn around. There. It's the stain down to his butt.
Here we are in another gully. This is, as you can tell, in the springtime, there'd be a lot of water coming down here. pretty steep banks on either side of us. And like to check, you're kind of low next to the water, and you'll see there's a nice group here. There's a couple nice ones sitting in here. And they're always hiding a little bit. But you see, actually, there's two little mushrooms growing there. But it's in good shape. Here's the second one. Again, in real nice shape. This is a pretty good one here, huh? Whoa! Look at the size of that one. It's in perfect shape. Look at that. Really a nice mushroom. Beautiful. So Austin just noticed this bolete along the trail, and he was asking if it's edible. And one of the things I was doing right away is breaking it here. And if you come up close, you'll see that it stains a really brilliant blue right before your eyes here. We'll try it again. Really, really almost an indigo. It's really beautiful. But although there is at least one edible, actually a really good edible bolete that stains blue, generally speaking, unless you're really good at identification, you should really leave blue staining boletes alone, because they can make you sick. Probably not going to kill you. They will just make you wish you were dead. So as cool as that is, we're just going to leave it here and keep looking. Sweaty back here. We've stumbled upon some jack-o'-lanterns, so I thought it'd be a great opportunity to show people what the differences are, since they're considered to be a chanterelle look-alike. This is a chanterelle I'm holding here, a fairly small one. But you can see how the gills descend down a little bit of the stem here, and they're false gills. I can't like reach in and grab them like individual blades. They're really just folds on the cap. And if you look at the base of this tree, the first thing that should tell you that this is not a chanterelle is the fact that it's on a tree. And you're not going to find chanterelles growing on wood. They're going to be coming from the ground. So the color is similar. They're a darker orange, but it is similar. And although they can grow from a cluster, I'm going to take one here that's a single. And if we look at the two of them, you'll see that there's a very specific line where the gills stop here, and it's even all the way around. It really doesn't descend the stem. Some of this will go down, some of this will stay up, and you see clearly one is much more orange than the other is more of an egg yolk yellow. The cap itself, you'll find, is almost always round. It's fairly proportioned round. Chanterelles, more times than not, are going to have deformed caps like this one. Not always, but more times than not. If you look at this cluster though, every one of these are round, right? And if you could see better, these are all emanating from a central cluster. You'll never find chanterelles doing that, never. So there's a chanterelle, and there's the deadly look-alike. Not so much deadly as going to make you, again, going to make you wish you might be dead. Going to make you real sick, but probably not going to kill you. Austin's up there picking a few. And right in front of me is a lobster. Do you see it there? Yeah. Right down in there. And we're surrounded in a area that has a lot of black carius and a lot of russula. We're on a bit of a slope, and oftentimes you'll find them there. I think the runoff is helpful to the host mushrooms. But yeah, we're gonna keep looking. Okay, what you got there, Austin?
Some cruddy old lobsters.
Uh-huh.
Red means rotten. No good. That's perfect.
That's a really nice looking one there.
Super dense, really dirty, good.
Thankfully we can scrub them.
Little baby lobster, stem on, sort of gills, but just perfect, like a chanterelle or a hedgehog. Not that that's what was parasitized, but
That's interesting.
cute, huh? I got a second one like that somewhere. Well, more stem than I normally find. But nice little one, kind of ugly, but most of them are.
Excellent.
So, no good. Well, I'm not.
Little
turn it
past
off.
prime, yeah.
Unsere Eltern sind schuld, sie haben uns in diese Welt entlassen. Voller Angst, Hass, Lady Gagas und Massenvernichtungswaffen. Doch vor allem ohne Rock'n'Roll, auf Green Day ist geschissen. Meiner Meinung nach können sich alle Bands verantwortungsvoll in Interviews geben. Meine Vorbilder werden sie eh nicht. Ich bin 20 einer ganzen Generation.
So Austin just wrapping up his banana break.
That doesn't sound right.
How many you got, Lexi? Ooh, that's a really
That's
pretty
nice.
one.
No,
Let's,
I
let's
really
see
like
that one.
finding them like that.
Let's hold that one up, bring it in here, will you?
Seashells. Don't they look like seashells?
That's beautiful. It's in just perfect shape.
Love the color.
Yeah.
This one's a little bit like that.
Wir sind so jung,